All right. So Money in the Bank 2024 is officially in the books. And we are going to talk about it here tonight. So Money in the Bank 2024 is officially done and concluded with. And we opened this show tonight here with the Money in the Bank men's ladder match. We had Drew McIntyre, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and Chad Gable. This match started off really hot, and we had a bunch of crazy spots. Off the top of my head, we had LA Knight gets kind of like slammed onto a ladder. There's a power bomb, I think, by Andrade. I forget who exactly was where. So then Drew ends up becoming Mr. Money in the Bank, and he states, as he stated several times in the past, that he will cash in here tonight against either Priest or Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. And then next we get Sami Zayn takes on Braun Breaker in a hell of a match. The only issue that I have is many people thought that Braun Breaker was going to win this title match for some reason. And actually, in this sort of era of Triple H, you got to kind of think ahead. You got to think long term. People were saying that, Braun should have just squashed him or whatever, but he will end up being the IC champion by SummerSlam, or at SummerSlam, I mean. I would have had this match kind of end though in a roll up, kind of where Sami Zayn gets the upset victory against Braun, which further pisses him off, and that kind of creates sort of like more havoc. But yeah, this match was pretty good. And then next, this was taking me by surprise. We get John Cena comes out. He comes out surprise, kind of like last year at London, where he just comes out unannounced. He comes out. He's wearing a shirt that says like The Last Ride 2025 or something like that, and he basically comes out and states that this will be his last run, essentially his last Royal Rumble, his last Elimination Chamber, his last WrestleMania. And he says that essentially he's retiring, and he thanks everybody, he thanks the fans for just being there for him. And somebody who grew up in the 2000s, man, this was just kind of it took me back, you know what I mean? Like, guys kind of been kind of on a semi-retirement schedule at this point, but to hear him actually say, hey guys, I'm retiring, is kind of like fuck me, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, he is a lot of our childhood, so to hear him say that it's over for him, is something just heartbreaking to think. But them Vegas tickets, man, I'm trying to get them Vegas tickets, but man, they're gonna be expensive as hell now that Cena's announced this. But Cena, we can eventually probably see him having a match with Orton, probably becoming 17-time champion by that point to kind of send him off. But yeah, really something that I probably wouldn't have thought of was gonna happen here on this show. Next we get the World Heavyweight Championship match between DP, Damian Priest, and Seth freaking Rollins. Now this match, it was, the commentators made a point about this match, kind of saying like these guys need to go super quick, super fast, because throughout the entire match they've been kind of looking towards the entrance ramp, waiting for McIntyre to pop up out of nowhere and cash in, and eventually he did. But before that, there was a spot where Seth, I think, hit the Falcon Arrow on Damian Priest, and you see the referee count 1, 2, and as he gets to 3, something kind of sort of happens, and it looks botched as hell. Which, what I'm hearing now, was that Drew McIntyre's music was supposed to hit at that time, like at the 2 count, but something got messed up somewhere, and I was like, is nobody else catching this, man? Because I was like, that means Seth should be champ right now. But I guess nobody. I'm sure everybody in the arena saw it. Everybody I think saw it in the arena. But regardless, Drew McIntyre comes out, cashes in, makes this a triple threat, goes after Rollins. Rollins gives him a fight, and then Drew McIntyre takes out Rollins. He's going for Damian Priest, but then CM Punk again comes out, screws him out of the world title for the third time this year. Damian Priest takes advantage, choke slam, and it's over. And after the match, Seth Rollins is pissed at CM Punk, tells him, "You need to get out of my business, stay out of my business," because he was just losing it, because this match indirectly affected him. He can no longer challenge Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title as long as he is champion, which is a bold statement, because Damian Priest will be champion for probably the next month. So that's a very bold statement from Seth Rollins. Regardless, a lot of people were kind of mad that Drew McIntyre wasted a Money in the Bank opportunity here. But I kind of tend to view the bigger picture of, okay, the Money in the Bank right now in this administration under Triple H really doesn't, it kind of just interrupts their whole flow. So for them to get it out of the way here makes sense for them. For me, yeah, I would prefer somebody else, somebody like a Chad Gable or Jey Uso, where they can kind of have a run with it and then cash in. But I guess I understand what they're trying to do here, because if you think about it, McIntyre has been screwed 3 times by CM Punk, and tonight CM Punk screwed him and was, he looked pissed tonight. But this is just gonna set up their match at SummerSlam and their program in the future when they continue it, when they have their blow off matches and their blood matches and everything. So this is gonna add to it. Again, I get both sides of the argument, but yeah, we have now CM Punk and Drew McIntyre for sure SummerSlam, and Punk and Rollins down the road eventually. Next match we had was the women's Money in the Bank match, and this match was pretty nuts. We had so many spots here, man. We had a Prettier on the one of the ladders set up. You'll see Green being scared of heights, but then as she's climbing to become the Money in the Bank holder, Tiffany Stratton pops up, throws her off the 2 tables that both of them set up, and she goes through both tables, and Tiffany Stratton is your new Mrs. Money in the Bank winner. And to me, this was the great call. This was a good call. Tiffany Stratton is eventually gonna cash in, and she's gonna win the Women's World Championship. I have no doubt in my mind that that's what's gonna happen. And yeah, overall, great match, great winner, good outcome. Last, we have the main event, which was 6-man tag team match. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens against Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu, the New Bloodline. This match was the main event. Solo Sikoa is finally getting the heel reaction that the company was looking for. Chance of F you Solo, we want Roman. And this match was chaotic. We fast forward to the end of the match, and Randy Orton is hitting RKOs on everybody, and then Solo Sikoa comes out of nowhere, Samoan Spike, then Cody Rhodes comes in, but then he gets taken out by Jacob Fatu. Solo Sikoa picks up the win, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man, I was expecting a big time return. Realistically, I was expecting Jimmy Uso to return. Hopefully, I was expecting Roman to return in the back of my head, but I was expecting something at the end. But what we got was kind of just underwhelming. I get that Solo has to get the win on Cody for his credibility to kind of, pick up, because these two guys, I have no doubt in my mind that these two guys are gonna face off at SummerSlam. But I thought this kind of was a little underwhelming of a finish. The crowd started off for this match real hot, and then by the finish was kind of at the dud. But overall, man, I feel like this show was probably a good 7 for me. Some of it was predictable. Some of it I would have liked something else, a little bit more exciting. But sometimes some of these shows aren't going to be the most exciting or whatnot as far as returns. But overall, I feel like this show wasn't bad. You hear the saying, predictable isn't bad. That's kind of what I feel that the show was. We're just at this point, we're gearing up towards SummerSlam, ramping everything up towards SummerSlam, and that's where everything seems to be heading. So with that said, man, I am out. I will see y'all later. Remember to like and comment and all that sort of stuff, and I am out.